tatta dhim tatakita dhim tadim tattam. Hello everyone, happy Navaratri. This is Padma, and on this channel I share with you practices and the philosophy from ancient goddess wisdom from my culture, which is India. And Navaratri is a very important festival of the goddess. This is the goddess season in my country, and I want to share the blessings and the invitation of the goddess to dwell in her and to practice her and to bring her attention and awareness to the divine feminine in these times. And so I thought what I'll do in this video is share with you a practice of the three main goddesses that are worshipped in this season, which is Goddess Lakshmi, Durga and Saraswathi. Now, these three goddesses are worshipped with different levels of importance in different regions of India, but together they really constitute the three main dimensions of the divine feminine, and their practices are really beautiful and allow us to perceive all the many different aspects of the divine feminine. So Goddess Lakshmi, firstly, she is the goddess that is very often understood as the domestic goddess. But she is the goddess of not just the home, but family, society, community, country, work. So everything that we have created from our mind, or what we call man-made, which is just the systems that we have created to organize our reality in the form of a family as a unit, in the form of a community, in the form of a society, and in the form of this world. And Lakshmi, you will see in her embodied expression, she really reminds us that even while we think that these things come out of our minds and our intelligence, that everything that they are made of comes from the earth and comes from the connection to the earth. So that is Lakshmi. The second goddess is Durga, and Durga is that movement of the divine feminine which is about piercing the mind and moving into the depths, the waters of consciousness, the source of the mind itself. So it is moving into that expansive source of reality of which the mind is only a small part. So this is Durga. And the last goddess, Saraswati, she is the intelligence that is sourced from the depths, that is sourced from our depths in our own body, that is sourced from that intelligence, the great waters of consciousness, which is available to us when we are able to pierce through the mind, to go beyond the mind and to expand beyond our minds. So Lakshmi, Durga and Saraswati, the three dimensions of the divine feminine. I'm going to invite you now to join me in embodying these goddesses. I call them poses, but they're actually much more than a pose. They are a movement constellation. In fact, all the stories of the goddesses come from these very ancient embodied expressions of these three goddesses. So let us do this together. So here we are in these beautiful times of Navaratri, where the goddess invitation is supposed to be stronger than ever for us to turn towards that part of ourselves in all of us that is ancient, that is feminine, that is our own depths, which is available to us in our own bodies. We don't need to go very far. It's available in our own bodies. So we start by moving into our lower body, into our depths. We just drop our weight, open at the femoral joint, allow that opening to gently flow down into the feet so the feet are in a V shape. And then we push back a little bit as if you're about to sit on a chair, and then you free the hips. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you will know that this is very much the way to start any practice, is connecting with the earth, connecting with the weight in your body, which is the dynamic of your presence. So presence is not a thought. It is actually a dynamic in the body. And then we just soften those arms And just swing those hips, loosening up the hips, very core movement of goddess practice. Just loosening up. We bring our chin down, the head arched with grace and with power and dignity, the heart raised, so our chest raised and open. So here is our basic physicality when we start exploring. So the first goddess is Lakshmi. Lakshmi, the one who is born from the lotus. Lakshmi, the one who is born from the lotus. So we do the lotus first. So your one hand is the lotus, the other hand is the stem of the lotus. Now as the lotus moves up, the stem moves down. So we shift our weight into this beautiful sensuous position. All these goddesses are both sensuous and strong and ferocious at the same time. So here we are with Lakshmi. As the lotus blooms, the stem reaches into the mud. The lotus grows in mud, in swampy waters, in moist earth. So here's the lotus, always connected to the moistness of the earth that is giving, that is moist, that is abundant. It's connected to that dirt, that moist, that clayey earth. And Lakshmi, who is, so we come back here, Lakshmi, who is born of this lotus. Now this hand is, the three fingers are down, your thumb is just closing the index finger. And the other hand is the hand of giving, which flows out. The goddess is boundless in her abundance. So again, the chest is open, chin is down. So we do this again. We start with this lotus. Keep it very close. It's an intimate practice. It is really to feel this dimension in your body. So Lakshmi's reminder is that no matter what systems we create, what technologies, even if we're building satellites to go into the space, all those lotuses are still rooted in the earth. It is made of the earth. Everything that we build, we construct, we structure, our own body is connected in that moistness, the fertile abundance of the earth. And out of that lotus, so keeping this hand open, that birth, that out of this earth, which is lying, open and lying for us, out of that earth is born the goddess. And then we go to Durga. So Durga, the one who pierces the mind, our paradigms of mastery, controlling. We think we create reality, we think we organize reality, and in doing so, we actually separate ourselves from that deep waters of reality, of nature, and of the divine. So Durga is the one that pierces that mind, allowing the waters to flow. It's like our mind dams the waters, and she pierces the mind so that the waters can flow again. So with Durga, the feet, we go, it's like the feet, just like we use the trident. The trident is a three-pronged spear. So just as we use the trident on the top to pierce, it's also in our lower body, it's a trident. So the eyes are ferocious. The sensation, the expression is of ferocity. And again. And again. The hip is still articulated, so there is still that sensuality here. And the last goddess is Saraswati, the goddess of the great waters. So she is the great waters of birthing, the great waters of consciousness. And it's said that she thunders forth like a whole herd of the most powerful horses. So it's not these limpid, sentimental waters, but it's the waters that, yes, they're beautiful and flowing, but they also hold tremendous power and force. So with Saraswati, we have the lower body again on one hip, and then we move that. So we feel that grounded strength, but also this, it's like this deepest ocean, the deepest ocean. So it's like even the smallest wave of that deepest ocean carries this tremendous energy and pull coming out of the depths. And the hands for Saraswati, just, it's like you're showing the figure 1, the number 1. And this means that everything is one. There's no separation. Once you pierce your mind, everything is one. You're not separated. The mind, consciousness, the big waters, what is ancient, what is now, everything is that one moment. It's the same moment. And the other hand, again, denoting this flow. The flow, just as the waters flow along with gravity. It's not resisting, it's not going against, it's flowing along with the earth. And the eyes from one side, breathing. So one more time, we're just, without too much talking, just moving through those 3 goddesses. And I really invite you to feel how different they are, and yet how the colors just flow into each other. So they're not really separate. They're all dimensions of the one divine consciousness. So let's start with Lakshmi. The lotus pulling into the earth. And born. Happy Navaratri, everyone. I hope that when you invoke these goddesses, you will really feel her very strongly in these special times when she invites us to turn towards her and to bring her into our consciousness and into our bodies. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that I will have your company again on this channel.